Another day, another reaction. Welcome back. Another video from History Matters. Why isn't Inner Mongolia a part of Mongolia? Let's find out together. Let's increase our knowledge about the world. Let's prosper.
Currently, there are two Mongolias. There's the independent sovereign state of Mongolia, which historically has been referred to as Outer Mongolia, and Inner Mongolia.
By the way, Mongolia is beautiful. A friend of mine was in Mongolia last year, and he showed me a few pictures, or like pictures and videos of Mongolian landscape. Beautiful country. I have to visit as
Which is a
well.
part of China. Centuries ago, these regions were all but indistinguishable and simply seen as Mongolia. So what happened then? What led to Inner Mongolia becoming a part of China, and why don't we have a larger Mongolian state? To answer this, we have to go back to the Mongolian conquests, specifically those of Kublai Khan, grandson of Genghis. Kublai finished the work of his forebears when he ended the Song dynasty and established himself as the emperor of the new Yuan dynasty. Whilst he and his successors ruled China, there was a slow and steady adoption of Chinese customs. Like all dynasties, this one was soon plagued with civil strife and rebellions, and in 1368 the Yuan were pushed out of China proper. It was succeeded by the Ming dynasty, and what remained of the Yuan Empire became a fractured client state. This was ruled from Karakoram, but those who lived in the areas closer to the Ming dynasty maintained a mostly Chinese lifestyle, and the Mongolian nobles there fiercely resisted any attempts by the Yuan emperor to bring them to heel. In the early 17th century, when one such emperor, Ligdan, tried to centralise power under himself, the nobles that lived in Inner Mongolia rebelled and allied themselves with the rising dynasty in the east. Combined, they ended the ruling Yuan dynasty and conquered these lands before proclaiming the creation of the Qing dynasty. As you'll know, this dynasty would go on to
Sing? Is it called Sing? I always say Qing dynasty, but I don't know actually how it's pronounced. Sing or Qing? I actually have a Chinese friend. I can ask him after this video. uh, yeah, Qing Dynasty. I fuck with Qing Dynasty heavily. Playing Victoria 3. It's one of the more fun nations because you start out like super it's a super backwoods country, and then you catch up and you become fucking OP. And the borders are beautiful. Like Yuan borders, Qing borders, beautiful in my opinion.
subjugate all of China, and in the late 17th century it conquered Outer Mongolia too. The central government saw this area as a vast, hard-to-control place and so wanted the Mongols to do it for them. As such, they granted them greater levels of autonomy and forbid Chinese subjects from settling the region. Importantly though, this only applied to Outer Mongolia and not Inner Mongolia. As you'll know, the Qing dynasty was the last imperial dynasty in China, and its emperors remained in charge until a series of rebellions led to its end in 1912. It was replaced by the Republic of China, which was, to put it mildly, fractured. In this period of central weakness, Mongolia, as well as numerous other parts of the former Qing state, declared their independence, and Bogd Khan, the new Mongolian Kurgan, wanted all of these lands. The problem was that wanting and having are two different things. The Republican government in China refused to accept this, believing that an independent Mongolia would likely be subsumed by Russia, and so it sent troops. Beijing easily managed to hold on to Inner Mongolia with its large cities and more modern infrastructure, but pushing into the steppes was difficult. However, in 1919, the popular Mongolian Prime Minister Togzog Namnansaran died, and with this the country was divided over who would succeed him. Zhuang Qiwei, the former Chinese Prime Minister and warlord, sensed an opportunity to increase his popularity at the expense of the sitting president. Over the past few years, he had been given a bunch of money by the Entente in the hope that he would build up the Chinese army to assist Russia. Instead, he used it to build up his own private army to crush his rivals, but when that didn't work, he looked for an easy win, and so ordered one of his generals to conquer Mongolia, which he did fairly easily, and removed Bogd Khan. It looked like Mongolia's independence would be short-lived, but to the north the Russian Civil War was in full swing, and in 1921 from across the border came a man called Roman von Ungern-Sternberg. This man was, to be blunt, a complete lunatic who desperately wanted to restore the Mongolian Empire and was violently repressive to those.
Oh yeah, I heard about this guy. This guy is a gem. This was what would you call it? He was not a weeaboo, he was a Mongolia boo. Like he was obsessed with the Mongolian Empire, which I can appreciate. I am as well. Like if you gave me the chance to revive the Mongolian Empire, I would I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind helping with that.
Him. That said, he and his men did push the Chinese out of Outer Mongolia and restored Bogd Khan to the throne. However, the Soviets were worried about this, and Bolshevik forces alongside their Mongolian communist allies defeated and captured Sternberg, who was promptly shot. They then both instituted a communist government in Mongolia, which at this point essentially became a Soviet puppet. When Mao took control of China under
Every communist nation ever.
pressure from Stalin, he agreed to recognize the independence of Mongolia. However, Inner Mongolia at this point was majority ethnic Han Chinese, and so that part remained in China. And thereafter, the two would remain separated. I hope you enjoyed this episode, with a special thanks to my patrons, James Bizanet.
It do be like that sometimes. You lose some, you win some. But yeah, maybe they have to retake their rightful lands sometime. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave feedback, like, whatever. Give your mom a kiss on the cheek. Bye.